at Jessi Jean Home, Instagram creator, just launched their first cohort of the Yap Challenge. It's a 40-day challenge to get creators more comfortable with creating short-form video content online. The first cohort started in June of this year, sold out in a matter of moments. July 1st starts the second cohort of people. In the first round of sales, at Jessi Jean Home made over 7 figures, which is an amazing amount of money for her first launch, and I think really blew her away. She said that she was expecting to maybe sell 200 of these cohort memberships, but in reality, thousands, right? The round 2 already outperformed the first cohort. So we're talking a huge online success in what seems like a matter of moments. There's so many people breaking down the marketing side of this. The work that Jessi Jean Home put in since she started her Instagram channel last year, how she grew to almost 500,000 followers, and just the model of creating that following and then having a ripe audience of people to sell something to. Now, I do work in marketing, but what I also do is software and tech and membership sites. I've done this for 18 years. So I was curiously looking at this from a tech side of things. Anyone participating in that challenge, maybe they're seeing a path toward their future where they're launching a cohort of their own, a course, something as an online paid offer, just like the success that we saw with this current launch. This is part 1 of a 2-part video series. I am going to break down the tech that the Yap Challenge used to get itself into the hands of the people. Part 2 of this video will be me showing you how I would build all of this on open source tools. So if you don't know me, I am Kim Coleman. I am creator of Paid Memberships Pro, or a membership platform built for WordPress. I've been doing this for over 18 years. I started as a web developer, moved into the software side of things, and now we've been running our platform, serving over 60,000 membership sites. Before I get into the tech side of things, I just want to say why I think that this launch was so successful. She's very sincere. She's likable. She's human. And you don't doubt that she means well in all the content she's producing. It's authentic and vulnerable at times. I also think that all the legwork she put in with doing the yapping herself was proof in the pudding. She proved that she was able to do it herself, and now she's going to teach us how we can do it too. So not only was her follower audience already looking to do that kind of thing, but they were also seeing the success she was having with the growth of her own channel. I also think she priced it really well. $297 is not $37. It's not a throwaway amount of money. It requires the person purchasing it to actually think about it. It's not a small amount of money, right? It has to be worth your time. So if you thought $300, about 200 people would make it, she probably did the math and thought that would be an amazing, life-changing amount of money for my family. Little did she know that she would sell thousands. One last secret piece, which I think is somewhat about marketing, but also about a fear that we all have as online creators, is just this delaying to start. I get the sense from watching her content that a lot of it was created just in time. So it wasn't something that was months were spent building and thinking about and fine-tuning and perfecting. It's something we hear a lot with Paid Memberships Pro. People are sitting on their idea, sitting on their content, creating it slowly, making it so uber perfect that they never actually put a price tag on it and launch it to the world. So I got the feeling, and this is not confirmed, but if Jessi watches this video, you can confirm, but I got the sense that the daily drops over the next stretch of the cohort were something that were created maybe days prior, maybe the day prior, maybe the day of, which no shade in that. It's really a time-based forced constraint to get your content out there. There's nothing wrong with launching a cohort and building all of your cohort content just in time, even if you just deliver it live and nothing is already pre-recorded and available to your cohort members. There's nothing wrong with showing up, delivering a webinar, recording it, calling that the day's event, offering that as a video on demand, and then next time you do this, rework it. Think about, what did I deliver the first time? Am I still good with that? Use that video. Do I want to tweak it a little bit? I have notes. I have this working version that we used last time. Your next version is going to be even richer. So no shade in that. If you're creating an event like this, a time-based cohort, you don't have to have everything ready in advance. So let's get to the tech, right? How was this all created? What is the technology that's powering Jessi Jean's first cohort event that made over $1 million? I don't know if they built it themselves. I don't know if they hired someone. I don't know if they're rethinking their tech choices, but this is what I'm able to deduce browsing through all of the channels that I've seen. So first screen up here, Instagram. This is the key pin of the entire operation. A free platform to join, a free platform to create on. It's a place where she showed up consistently for months, posting. So she's building this audience. It's not an audience she really has 100% access to. I don't know if there was an email list before the Yap Challenge cohort began, but it's the place that she said, I'm going to start here. I'm going to this low friction place. I'm already using this app. I can do this. And that's really important. Choose something low friction People will build entire marketing funnels before they even have a sense for if it's something they want to do, right? So built her platform here, grew her followers list here. So the time came, they were ready. They were going to do a cohort sometime, I don't know when, May, maybe. They said, we need a platform that's going to help us do this. We need to piece together the tools. So they chose HighLevel, which is technically a CRM. It's designed to be like a multi-purpose tool that replaces a lot of your other sales processes. Building funnels through websites that lead to checkout or just forms to collect information from people. They offer connections to gateways like Stripe and other payment gateways. There are some email features built in, text messaging, calendar, chat, like those kinds of features. Jessi didn't go with their email system. I'll talk about that in a moment, but it is available. I think it's a great tool for people that need scheduling, like gyms are using it, individual coaches are using it. If we dig into their pricing, they do have a trial that you can use. And then the pricing itself, they have 3 tiers, but I'll show these 2, which are aimed more at individuals, a flat $97 a month or this $297 a month tier. The next tier up is $497 a month, and that's more that white labeled agency type level. So HighLevel is the basis of the landing pages that you encounter as part of the Yap Challenge sign up. So I'm going to look at this one here. This is the waitlist page for the current cohort. You can still sign up if I get this video posted in the next few days. I signed up. I'm going to be there. I'm excited for that. So Jessi Jean got a website through HighLevel, jessijean.com, and this domain is /doors closed. So this is the page that gets thrown up when the cohort is closed to new sales, but they're still capturing email addresses. They still want to capture leads. This form itself is not a HighLevel form. This is built with Kit. Kit is an email marketing platform. Curiously enough, so much overlap with HighLevel, you could say. They also allow you to productize and sell through the Kit landing page system. But we are seeing now with Jessi Jean's setup, they piece together HighLevel with this Kit embed. So now there's customers that are going to live in the HighLevel back end of things, and there's also going to be subscribers in the Kit side of things. So I'll talk more about these diverging lists and no source of truth throughout this tech thing, because it is something worrisome that I'm seeing with how this tech stack is built. But this is a Kit form. If you fill this form out, you get an email to confirm, which is a good setup. We recommend that. Everyone recommends a double opt-in, or at least a false double opt-in, some way that you can get people to interact with the very first thing you send them. That's a secret to training the inbox to prioritize your messages to that person. So if you fill this form out, you're then taken to a landing page. You missed the challenge. Of course, you just knew you did that, but an email was sent to you that you can confirm. Check your inbox. That is also sent by Kit. That's not sent by HighLevel. And you can interact with that email, confirm that you'd like to receive the messages, and then you're good. So at this phase of things, we have an Instagram account that's wildly successful, a landing page built with HighLevel that has an embedded form with Kit, and a wait list. So we're accumulating signups in our Kit side of things, which is the next phase when we open the doors where we're going to distribute those checkout links. So this next screen I show you is the landing page. It's the long form landing page with a lot of those key points to what makes landing pages successful. The sign up buttons, it has some time-based motivation here. It also has a picture of who we're going to be buying from. So we realize this is a real human. We can connect that face to the person we've been watching on Instagram the whole time. The start date there, the close date, and then tons and tons of social proof. So part of what I said early on that Instagram was a big channel, what's super cool about the round 2 cohort is that all of those round 1 people are getting comfortable posting online. And naturally, what are they posting about? How thankful they are for how the Yap Challenge worked for them, how effective it's been in their life, how much change and transformation they've experienced. They're tagging at Jessi Jean Home. She's reposting it to her stories, reposting it to her channel, creating video content to amplify the voices of all the people that participated in the challenge, like a great coach should do, right? Lifting all the people up that participate. So this is a HighLevel landing page. I have not used HighLevel. This is not a HighLevel demo, so I'm not going to pick too much about how this was created or explain too much. I don't know how easy it is to use. I don't know how challenging it is to use. But what we'll see here, we just keep scrolling through it. We see a lot of buttons that link us to the checkout page. You can never have enough. When it's a landing page like this, don't make people think. I also think the use of color here is very effective. We have a basically monochrome website. And then these yellow buttons stand out. Every time yellow is used, it's drawing our eye. Not a design tutorial today, it's a tech tutorial, not a marketing tutorial, but pieces of things I know that I can't help calling out. A great explanation of everything that's going to happen in the event, which I think is key when you're targeting people who are potentially super busy. And then at this point, we get into these bonuses and like the actual value of the thing that you're buying, which these are always going to be made up numbers. You can look at what other people are charging for things and think, okay, that's a number I could use. That's a value I could place on this. But if we look at this, the bonuses that are given, attaching a monetary value to them, and then showing them you're paying such a ridiculously low fraction of what the entire value of this is. Boom, right? Once we click through to the purchase page, we have a very simple form, a reiteration of the value of all the things we're getting, the ridiculously low percentage of that we have to actually pay to achieve it. There's 2 steps, capturing of our personal information and then some capturing of our billing information. They did capture phone number, which I entered, but I was curious what that would be used for. So just a word of caution, maybe you can't remove it in HighLevel, but I'm of the mindset when I build any form, every form field needs a reason. So what is that serving? Are you going to text me? It's not really to validate my credit card information. So think of that when you're building with any platform. Do I really need every single field here? Address, potentially. This isn't really labeled as a billing address. So maybe it's more just demographics. They're trying to figure out where people are located. Maybe it's a high-level requirement because it is a CRM that they really want to complete dossier on every person that purchases. I don't know that, but this is wired up to Stripe. Go HighLevel lets you connect your own Stripe account, so they're not designed to take a platform fee on top of the Stripe fees. What I read on their website is their fees are just the Stripe fees. So when you connect your site through your HighLevel account to your own personal Stripe account, you're the person receiving the money, a merchant of record. If you've ever heard of that, HighLevel does not serve as your merchant of record. The money comes straight to you. So you're financially responsible for the relationship with all those customers. You're financially responsible for the tax and the paying of tax and the paying of your personal taxes. So some people choose platforms where there's a merchant of record, or MOR, they're called. The nice thing about that is it offsets all of the tax responsibility. The platform gives you a 1099 and that's already handled. So you're just being paid by them. And then you still have the personal taxes side. But as far as sales tax side, when you're doing it yourself, that's your responsibility. I will quick bring up this agreement that is part of the process of checkout, and it's listed in the footer of the checkout page, the terms. This was written, it looks like, in collaboration with a legal firm that they employed. There are services like Termageddon that can help you make a terms of service, but it looks like Jessi Jean's group has engaged with a lawyer to help them prepare this agreement on their site. This is a page on Go HighLevel, but it was still something they had to create and feel confident in what they listed. If you want to engage with a lawyer and have them work with you on your terms, that's great. Termageddon is a service that helps you create terms of service pages and keep them up to date with all the standards that matter in the world right now. But I'll bring that up just as it's another piece of that HighLevel website. Before I move on to where the platform's actually delivered, the curious thing to me in all of this is that the main domain at jessijean.com is a 404 not found. This is an opportunity, I think, to do a link in bio, link tree page, or I'm just curious why they haven't put anything up at the main URL, but I think they're just insanely busy and exhausted. I'm shocked that they're doing another cohort as quickly as they are. I'm excited because I'm going to participate, but just something funny. I don't think this is a problem with any of the tech. I think it's just, we'll get to it when we can get to it, an unimportant thing. But as a person that looks at all the tech, of course, I'm going to look and poke around as much as I can. And I don't know why this is still 404ing. So I bought the challenge. I'm going to participate July 1st. I've been getting emails from their kit platform, from a sequence. Whether they're a sequence, I'm not sure. They could be just bespoke emails that they're creating and sending out to all the waitlist people. But just saying that kit has been a piece of their tech stack from the beginning. That waitlist capture form, I'll talk a little bit about how I think that might be set up so that you hopefully still have a segment in the kit side to email dedicated people in Cohort 1, in Cohort 2, and people who are still on the wait list. So you need this subscriber segmentation is what it's called on all sides of things when you're spreading yourself across tech stacks like this. After I completed checkout on the HighLevel page, I paid through their payment gateway Stripe right there on that page. I got a confirmation email about my purchase. I also got an invitation to their Circle community. So I will not show any of the back end of the Circle community. That is their private stuff. I will say right now it's just a landing page and one post saying, it's coming soon. There's no content in there yet because they made the decision, which I think is a great decision, to treat these Yap Challenge cohorts as true cohorts. I'm not put into a circle community full of people that are already 30 plus days ahead of me in my journey. That's really challenging when you do that because you're entering a busy room of people who have reached a stage in their journey that you're not on yet. It's a true cohort. I don't know if eventually we'll all be blended together as graduates of the event. I hope that would be interesting. I think that's naturally how certain types of education experiences like this do work out. But right now we're in our own isolated little class. So Circle is a platform for membership communities, I will say. What's interesting is they have their own checkout processes. They have their own email systems. They have their own members lists. So now we're at a third place where our member data is captured and stored. I guess it's technically a fourth because we also have customer and purchase data in Stripe. So if we say that, we can say that Circle is now our fourth place where we have interactions, we have different logins, we have a different list of members, we have 2 different segments of members in these 2 different community spaces in Circle. Circle's a platform that lets me as an individual person be a member of many different communities. So when I log into this Circle community, I also have a sidebar, which is all of the other Circle communities that I'm a part of, and I can jump in between them all. So when we talk about owning your platform, Circle is not a platform you really own. There is competition for the eyeballs of the people in that space. When I logged in, I had notifications from other communities that I'm in that could draw me into those spaces to participate, to collaborate. I also wanted to delete some of them because I don't know why they're still there. But if we logged in here, we would see that space. I don't know if we're going to see like a list of members, but it is a feature of the Circle community that there's directories, messaging, friending, profile pages, anything you'd really expect from a make your own version of Facebook kind of vibe. Circle is the way that they're choosing to deliver all the cohort content across the course of the membership. I want to touch quick on the content piece of things. I talked about the tech stack a lot. This content didn't seem like it was fully curated and ready to go, and she could just sit back and count dollars the whole time. I think she's been hustling for the last 30 days, and she's going to be hustling for another at least 45 more days from today as she gets through the second cohort. It was very obvious every time something dropped on social media, the exhaustion, the scrambling to get tech. I think there were some tech challenges early on of whether the platform could support the number of concurrent logins that were active and using the Circle platform at any one time, the number of people hitting that checkout page at any one time. But I think creating the content as you go is such a beautiful way to avoid procrastinating. So I applaud how this was done. I hope everyone watching, if you're thinking of doing this and thinking I need to go hide away and write my dissertation on my thing and then turn it into a course and hire a videographer, that you don't actually have to do that. The first version of something people are so lenient with, and most of the people that joined are probably the most loyal, loving, supportive people in this person's Instagram journey. So they're going to accept a little fluke. They're going to understand this is the first time we've done this. We didn't expect the turnout we got. I want to deliver awesome things for you. Maybe it was a little late that day. I said it would be dropping at 9 a.m. Maybe it was dropped at 11 a.m., right? I think people will excuse all of that if you are human, if you're showing up with authenticity, and just that they're clear on what you're getting. There was no promise that this was going to be the most polished version of something. I think the humanness of it is the value of it. Great way to get started if you don't have an arsenal of content ready to go and you just want to light a fire under your butt and get that stuff out. I talked a little bit throughout this process about not having one true source of member information in a consolidated place. So there's definitely automation involved here and APIs talking to one another and bridges to connect different platforms. HighLevel talks to Stripe, that's built in. I'm not worried about that connection. Either HighLevel or Stripe are talking to Circle. And I don't know exactly how these are wired up. I found 2 options that it could be, which is a Stripe payment. So you could connect a specific product purchase to adding people to a member space in Circle. So this is Zapier. This might be how this is connected, and we might be ignoring HighLevel entirely. There is also this thing called Integrately I've never used, but they claim to also have a Circle and Go HighLevel connector. So getting a Circle and Go HighLevel to talk natively. So either one is possible. I might do the Stripe one just because I know that checkout happened and then it's happening in the background. The purchase happened in Stripe. Stripe's telling Circle to do something, to initiate something. I guess there's another place that it could be. HighLevel could be tagging the subscriber in Kit, and Kit could be kicking off the member join to Circle. So if you think of this, you could draw a picture and draw some lines in between all of these different platforms and pick which one feels and is the easiest to bridge. If anyone from Jessi Jean's team is watching this, I'd be curious if we could all know how that connection was made, because I didn't see a definitive source for me to say, like, this is exactly how we would do this. So yeah, I'm curious about that. But when we look at automations like this and using third-party tools that aren't natively integrated, natively hosted together, and those bridges, they're just points of failure. And that's okay. But just be aware that anytime you're doing this, every point of failure is something that you have to nurture and watch and keep track of as your business changes and grows and those platforms change and grow. As far as having one true source of information, this is how I think it probably looks right now. Circle is the eventual destination for the members. That's where we can see, are they logging in? Are they activating? Did they participate in the webinar? If I'm running a membership, especially one with a recurring price, I need to know that people are participating. The people who are not participating, they're at risk. They're at risk of stopping to see the value in my thing. They're at risk of quitting and canceling their recurring memberships and churning. So this is a one-time payment. I bet there's less concern that people actually engage and participate with it. There's passion. There's a desire that people do because it means that you've delivered on what people paid you for. It's really icky as an entrepreneur with ethics behind you, which I know that Jessi has, to have taken people's money and not felt like they received value for what they paid. But it's a two-way street when you're delivering content like this. You can do as much as you want to tell people that the thing is there, but they also have to do their part to watch it and to implement the skills. So that's a tricky thing, very tricky thing. So we have the participation in Circle, which at the end of the day might become where the one true source is of people. We know the only way they got in there was by paying for something, and then we can watch their participation in that space. We have our HighLevel data. The back end of that will show the people who have joined and paid, and their order history probably talks back to the HighLevel platform. That might be the end of what we see there. If we offered different things through the same HighLevel account, we would see what other products they purchased from us. So that is meant to be a CRM. That's a space that we can see that information going on. We have Kit, so we can see of the emails we've sent out, who's participating with them, who's clicking on them. They can look up my profile specifically as a subscriber in Kit. They can see my name. They can see all the emails I've received, the sequences I'm a member of, and how I've interacted with all of those things. So that's a source of data. And then we have our financial data. Stripe, that's the data we trust, the actual money that transacted through our gateway account, the customer information there, their email addresses, their addresses, and the taxes that we have to pay. So 4 sources of member information, probably no single dashboard to see everything about Kim, all of the emails she clicked, all of the orders she made on our site, and all the conversations she participated in Circle. You probably don't need that yet. Now I've run my membership site for 18 years, so it's something I love having access to. But I expect that this platform will shift and change as they move into different phases of running an online business. I appreciate you all for sticking with me this far. It was fun to break the tech stack apart. This is actually a creator series I've wanted to run for a long time on this YouTube channel, just to help people understand the technology choices that are available to us. It's not all choose my platform here. I want to just be transparent about what your options are. I don't think this is any faster or slower than going an open source route, but if it's familiar to the tech team that Jessi Jean's crew engaged with, or if they built it themselves, it can feel less scary. It can feel less scary to use hosted platforms. Feels like you don't have to manage and take care of things yourself. I would be more scared on a hosted platform. They did say that they encountered some lags with things. So it's hard to know when you're getting a plan with HighLevel or getting a plan with Circle, just how beefy what server you're on. You don't even know what server you're on. You could be side by side on a server with another platform, experience an extreme volume of people, and the whole thing crashes, which it has to crash. It can't possibly process that much information. But I'm going to take a breath, take a nap, go to bed tonight, and then tomorrow I hopefully will be recording the second in this series, which is me building it with open source tools, all the tools that I would use to facilitate that waitlist, the cohorts, the checkout, and then the actual community side of things where I'm delivering the value over a drip feed to my members list. So I hope you come back and watch that one. I hope this was also beneficial if you're thinking of taking your yapping to the next level and starting an online business. I wish you so much luck.